So in 2006, actually 2007, I started writing. It was a couple weeks before Christmas. I started to write this book, my autobiography, and 6 months later, it came in the mail, and this is what it looked like. The Unpolished Man kept coming up whenever I would put in the title, the Unpolished Manuscript. So last year I repackaged it and went with that as the main title. The Unpolished Man, the Unpolished Manuscript. Autobiography of a diamond in the rough. Portrait of the artist as a human being. The care and feeding of a good idea. ? The picture on the cover was taken, I think, about 2005 on the east rim of the Grand Canyon. Fresh out of bed, we'd spent the night there. This spot was a place where I actually spent the night there once with my mother when I took her around the country in 2000. Anyway, the reason I'm once again taking up the project of doing a audio version of the book is because I have a friend who's unfortunately losing their sight and has really taken to audiobooks. And she asked me, you should probably I'd love to read it, but have you thought about doing an audiobook? So here goes. The Unpolished Man, the Unpolished Manuscript. Autobiography of a diamond in the rough. Portrait of the artist as a human being. The care and feeding of a good idea. The uncut block. The architecture of smoke. Time is art, is life. Memoir of a space puppy. Adventures of the lusty traveler. Life of the artist. Now, the reason why all these titles are on here is because those are all the titles that came to me when I was writing the book. And how I came to write it was in the fall of 2007, I had a brush with mortality. This friend and partner in a electric car company that we were trying to get off the ground was killed when a Volkswagen fell on him. And we were just about to enter the Automotive X Prize. And then around that same time, I'd written a couple of books and published them pretty quickly, self-published them online. And that just showed me that it was possible to do it. And one of those books was this work that at the time was called Divine Metaphysics 101, The Care and Feeding of the Natural High. And it was basically the Reader's Digest version of everything I was given to understand by the universe back in 1993-94, when for 3 months I experienced what I later came to call a spiritual acceleration, where I was in a state of bliss 24 hours a day. And so, when you're in that state, the universe will give you a lot to chew on. And if you ask questions, information just comes. And you see the connections of everything and every everything seems like it's just, you can see the hand of the divine behind it all. And so I wrote that book because it seemed like after all the years of sharing that information with people, I should probably write that down. And then the last 30 pages of that 100-page book with, original words on original photographs, there was, it told the story of 1999, where I received a kind of a message from the universe to be at the pyramids for the millennium when I was on Maui that February. And I had $30 to my name, and I was living on the nude beach, on Little Beach. And then I made it across the world, going to, over the next 10 months, to all these sacred sites, and Stonehenge and the Grand Canyon and Serpent Mound, and and all these events like the Rainbow Gathering in Pennsylvania and Woodstock '99, and the Rainbow Gathering in Hungary, and there was even a gathering up on Glastonbury Tor in England for 9/9/99. And so anyway, I made my way across the world over those 10 months and made it to be at the pyramids for the millennium. And I told the story in the last 30 pages of the Divine Metaphysics 101 book, which has since been retitled as The Care and Feeding of the Natural High is the primary title, and then the subtitle is Divine Metaphysics 101, because I learned the hard way that you say Divine Metaphysics to people, they get a little glassy-eyed. And so I figured, what the heck, make a better title. So when I finished that book, after writing those 30 pages, it was like, I could write my autobiography. And then a couple of weeks later, after I published that book, I got interviewed over the phone by this person who was writing a paper on artists of California, and they were interviewing me, and the interview was like an hour and a half long, and about halfway through the article, I've had people ask me, how did you get to be who you are, and how did you learn how to do all this? I've had that question asked many times, and so it just, there's certain ways I tell that story, and it just seemed like halfway through it just seemed like I should probably write that down. And the experience of writing the last 30 pages of the Divine Metaphysics book that I called The Cycle of the Sacred Year, it seemed like that would be a really good way of going about the book. So the next day I started writing it. And in the course of writing it, I came up with all these titles. And because I'm self-publishing, I could take advantage of the opportunity to just use them all. But they all have there's a reason for all of them. And that'll be for another time, maybe. Yeah. Except, let's look at this. Memoir of a Space Puppy. Memoir of a Space Puppy refers to, in the early 80s, I did a single-panel cartoon called Blue Muse. That's how I basically taught myself how to draw, was by drawing that cartoon. And one of the recurring themes in that was, information that came from this person, this random anonymous person called a space puppy. And, it's all autobiographical in some way. So I guess we're all space puppies, some of us more than others. And then like Adventures of the Lusty Traveler, this wonderful person that accompanied me around the world for a couple of years back in my early 40s. She called me the Lusty Traveler. So that's where that came from. And we always used to kid one another. Like, no, you're the Lusty Traveler. No, you're the Lusty Traveler. Anyway, so, but let's get into it. Welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you for coming. Right now, if you can, just take a long, deep breath. And if it pleases you, just relax and get real comfortable. Because if you like stories, you now hold within your hands a magical true life story. A story of stories told entirely from memory about a universe, one soul's universe within the greater universe. A bubble of bubbles within the greater bubble. And like a rainbow, plumed cosmic serpent eating its tail, it overlaps and weaves, loops and circles back on itself. May you enjoy good luck, good light in finding your own chosen path through the labyrinth, knowing that each time you enter something new, a new path to the center is created, unique to only you and your footfalls, your choices and inspirations. Your choices and experience. Recognize that what you see, what you realize, is what you bring to the party. While this work is casting a spell of inspiration through you to both be the change we all seek and empower the dreamer to dream the great and sacred dream, and the visionary to envision and create the highest future we all hope for and know we are all capable of bringing to life as the children play and the lovers within us love on, reaching higher, deeper, wider, soar.